In 2013, we traveled to India for the first time. The goal was to explore future opportunities and see what the action sports community looked like in that part of the world. Through a series of pretty random circumstances, we ended up at a small surf contest outside of Chennai in the fishing community of Cove Lung. We stumbled across Bay of Life Surf School, and after catching some fun waves with the locals, we were able to share with them why we had traveled to India and our faith found in Jesus. We left some boards and Bibles, and we weren't sure when we'd be back, but we felt excited to have discovered a community that we hoped had existed. Shortly after returning home, we received an email from the owner of Bay of Life, saying that after we left, he reached out to the only Christian that he knew to tell him about meeting us. This individual was Jose.
I was born in Tamil Nadu, It was very difficult for our family, financially for our family. Never consistent, never had the hope, never had the help, never had the guidance to grow in life. And I never thought I have a future. I was convinced that people just made Jesus, who was a man, into a god. Like in India, people have made gods out of these men. And one night, my friend, his name is Krishna, he invited me to come to his house. He slowly starts sharing the gospel with me. That really opened my eyes, asking him to reveal himself to me, and at the age of 19, I met Christ.
Jose was just finishing up Bible college and was eager to start serving in his local community. In his early 30s, he had never stepped foot on a skateboard, but after watching some of our videos he found online, he felt like skateboarding could be a valuable tool to help him create relationships with youth in his community. He asked if we could send him a few boards, and we gladly encouraged his excitement.
So sure that God called us to be in ministry, the Lord has opened doors for us to be in ministry, but we didn't know where to go and what to do. Got 3 skateboards from Right Nature sent out to me, and I got those boards. I didn't know how to skateboard. I trip, I fall, so I decided to go to this open space that I found and started trying to learn. The kids come around me thinking I'm trying to learn tricks. When I tried to learn it, I was 34 years old. And I was willing to do anything so that I can preach Christ. And I understood there's something the Lord wants to tell me about these skateboards. That's where it all started. So they came around me and I started learning with them, teaching them. God opened this door for me. It's not just the church. It's not just teaching the word in the pulpit. It's beyond, outside the church. And then slowly we have an opportunity to minister to them. And then from there came the opportunity for us to minister in the slums. We now have a place like a church, we meet as a church at the slums. One of the slums, one of the downtrodden places, When I say slum, I'm talking about a place which is a house which is just 5 or 6 bamboos and just covered with tarps, blue tarps, that's it. That's their house. They live in it. A family of 6 or 5 will live in it.
Man, it broke my heart. The slums, there's just kids running around with no clothes, completely run down houses. You can feel the spiritual weight. Spiritual warfare is on there. It's definitely happening, and it's a real thing. When we look at the life of Jesus, he meets people exactly where they're at, no matter the economic status, where they live, what they look like, the language. That's the coolest thing about Jose, using skateboarding, not being a skateboarder, taking skateboarding because he sees that he can use that as a tool, as an avenue to reach people for Jesus. That's just meeting people where they're at.
I think God is willing to use us. In fact, God will never call us to do something unless He's provided for us to do that. Same thing as Jesus said, the harvest is plenty, the laborers are few. The answer could be that I am the laborer. The answer could be that I should be the one who is going and laboring. God is preparing us always for the calling that He has put in our life, because we are chosen, we are called even before we were formed in our mother's womb. But God can use that willingness for you to serve faithfully in that smallest area that God gives you. When you are willing to be faithful in the smallest things, He's able to give you the bigger things. Be there wherever Jesus puts you, and He will transform our lives. It wasn't easy for me at 34 to just fall down and almost break my leg and walk limping every day. But God used that, It's all about, are we willing to do that which Christ calls us to do?
Since 2009, we've given away literally thousands of boards to children and leaders all around the world. But with the gift of each board, we have no idea the impact that will follow. The vision for the organization was birthed out of the dream to see kids given the chance to surf and skate worldwide. But never did we imagine that the simple gift of just a few skateboards would result in the impact that it has in India. It's hard to believe that the ministry that Joseph's leading all started with just 3 boards.